From the super cute friendship of Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson, to the fan-favorite duo of Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, here's a list of the directors and actors who always work together. So, let's start off with how DC Studios' James Gunn wants to work with Margot Robbie again. Even though no specific project was mentioned, Robbie has said before that she wants to bring the love story between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy from the comic books to the big screen. She said before that she worked really hard to get it, so when asked if he would work with Robbie again, Gunn simply said, for sure. Both of them have worked with DC before, obviously. In 2021's The Suicide Squad, Robbie played Harley Quinn again, just like she did in 2016's Suicide Squad and 2020 Birds of Prey. Speaking of directors who love working with the same actors, Rian Johnson finds Joseph Gordon-Levitt a role in every movie. Their first movie together was the cult favorite Brick, which came out in 2006. It was a neo-noir detective story in which the actor played a high school student. The two would go on to work together on 5 movies, including the 2012 science fiction epic Looper.
If you haven't seen Looper, you might be a little confused starting to watch this to see that my face looks weird. Looper, that involves time travel, where there's the same man exists in 2 points in his life.
Although, what's interesting about Gordon-Levitt's roles in Johnson's movies is that they aren't always clear. He gives him the voice to an unknown TV character in the murder mystery movie Knives Out. And it was strange because many people didn't even recognize his voice the first time they saw the movie. It seems like they have a special bond. So, just like that, let's talk about the duo who understands each other's work, Greta Gerwig and Saoirse Ronan. Greta's first movie as a director was the coming-of-age film Lady Bird, which she released in 2017. In 2019, she directed a version of Little Women that was a huge hit. And of course, Ronan played the main role in both movies. Gerwig gets a lot of her ideas for writing and directing from her own life, and it's clear that she feels close to Ronan. Both movies got good reviews, which is mostly because of Gerwig's skills and Ronan's ability to lead a group of bright actors. Plus, their friendship is super cute. And to be honest, it reminds me a lot of the one between Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson. This duo of a quirky director and a seasoned actor have been friends since college and have worked together as artists since the 1990s. This was when they made the movie Bottle Rocket. Wilson's played both major and minor parts in 7 of Anderson's movies, including The Grand Budapest Hotel, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Royal Tenenbaums, and the upcoming The French Dispatch. And I think the reason for this is that Anderson is known for his precise style, one that only a few would really understand, and the care he puts into every frame of his movies. Plus, the fact that he often uses the same actors gives his movies the feel of a family gathering. Doesn't that remind you a lot of Quentin Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson? It's no secret that the two often work well together. In fact, fans think Jackson should have won an Oscar for his role in the 1994 classic Pulp Fiction. And since then, Tarantino has often given his best and most talkative roles to Jackson, who plays them perfectly. Not just this, but the most wholesome aspect of their relationship is how they bring out the best in each other. Jackson's one of the most charismatic characters in the history of movies, which goes great with Tarantino's smooth dialogue. So no matter if Jackson's a hitman, a bounty hunter, or just telling the story, when these two work together, movie magic always happens. Just like when Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio worked together. Their first movie together was in 2002, and since then, they've helped each other change their lives throughout the 21st century. Scorsese was the main director who watched DiCaprio grow from a teenage heartthrob to one of the best actors of his time.
I would say it's because he's such an immense fan of film and filmmakers.
On the other hand, DiCaprio was Scorsese's leading man in period dramas, crime thrillers, biopics, and dark comedies. Scorsese won his first Academy Award for Best Director for his work on The Departed, and DiCaprio got 2 of his 6 acting nods for Scorsese movies. When Killers of the Flower Moon comes out later this year, both men will be hoping that their continued work together gets more praise. So next, I've got the director who's known for making super dark and weird movies, and the actor who's known for his most iconic roles in some of the most hilarious movies of all time. Yep, I'm talking about none other than Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. The two have worked together on impressive movies, and their first time was in the 1990s for the movie Edward Scissorhands. After that, they worked together all the time. Many of their movies have done well at both the box office and with critics. Alice in Wonderland did the best at the box office, and the last time they worked together was on the remake of the Gothic film Dark Dark Shadows, which came out in 2012. Other than that, the two have also done collaborations with Helena Bonham Carter, who used to be the director's girlfriend at the time. But guys, there's no way you wouldn't already know about this next one. The famous duo of Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks met when they were both at the top of their game. And just like in many other great relationships between a director and an actor, both artists rose to fame at the same time. Both had won Academy Awards earlier in the decade, and Saving Private Ryan, a brutal World War II masterpiece from 1998, was a critical and financial success that brought them together.
Always stumbling across what I think are fascinating stories that if you ignore the fact that they took place 70 years ago.
They were kids off farms, these were kids that were working in greengrocer, stores. These were kids that had high school diplomas and they were going to college.
The two very talented people have made 4 more movies together as a director and acting team, which is great. Spielberg's classic American blockbuster style fits Hanks' everyman image and underrated talent for character acting like a glove. And that was exactly what happened when Christopher Nolan decided to work with Michael Caine. The English-American director is known for making movies about philosophical ideas, how time works, and how people see themselves. His 10 movies have made $4.7 billion at the box office and won 10 Oscars. Then, if you talk about Michael Caine, well, he's definitely one of the most skilled actors who's worked with Nolan multiple times. The two have been in 7 movies together, and an 8th is in the works. Starting with 2005's Batman Begins, Caine was in its 2 hugely popular sequels, The Prestige in 2006 and the Oscar-winning science fiction hit Inception in 2010. He also worked with Nolan on the 2014 movie Interstellar and made an incredible voice appearance in the 2017 movie Dunkirk. He was last seen in Nolan's action movie Tenet, which came out in 2020. This brings me to the last duo, and it features none other than Martin Scorsese again. Yep, he and Robert De Niro go way back. 10 films spanning 5 different decades, 49 years, and still going. That should be enough to tell you that these two were meant to be. The relationship between them is unmatched in terms of how long it has lasted, how well known it is, and how much good it's done for cinema. In fact, the movies they've worked on together have been nominated for an amazing 31 Oscars, and 3 of them have won, including De Niro's second Oscar for his role in Raging Bull. What's more, fans seem to think that Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver, James Conway from Goodfellas, or Max Cady from Cape Fear are the best characters from the 2 movies.
And I remember you came out and you looked at me and you came down and you said, "Are you okay?" I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm killing myself." Are you paying attention?
Not to mention, their work together has given us a lot of unforgettable characters in movies. And their union helped shape American movies in the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. Well, this is it, guys. These were the most famous director-actor duos who always worked together.